Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Goody Life, where life is good and everything is great. I'm Dr. Goody, and the Goody Life is all about finding motivation, inspiration, and self growth in all different aspects and areas of your life. And today we are continuing with relationship. We have been focusing on relationship for the past few weeks. And as you know already, the Goody Life focuses on 5 areas of personal growth. And this month topic is relationship. Normally we go about a month to 2 months on each area. However, this time I'm kind of crunching it a little bit. So I'm making relationship more a 4-week. So the last few weeks we've talked about building a healthy relationship with yourself and identifying those through self-love and self-confidence and self-esteem, building those aspects and areas of your life. So if you missed those videos, definitely check them out. I will link them at the bottom. And then last week we also talked about building a healthy relationship with people around you, such as your family member, your friends, your co-workers, how to identify and have a happy and healthy relationship with them by avoiding 4 toxic behaviors. I will also link that video for you below. But today, as we are wrapping up with relationship, I don't want to forget one of the most important area, building a healthy relationship with your intimate partner, be it your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, your significant other. So today's video is all about identifying and building a healthy relationship with your intimate partner. So let's get right into it. Now, as I'm about to start talking about building a healthy relationship with your partner, let me just put this out there ahead of time. If you're a young person who's between the age, let's say 18, 25 or so, all of these concepts that I'll be talking about may not be applicable to you, and it shouldn't be. I'm focusing on 7 aspects on how to develop and have a long-lasting relationship. But as you guys have known and as research have shown time and time again, from a teenager, when you get to 18, for most females, 18 to 25, you're still building your own identity, learning who you are, getting to know yourself. So this category may not possibly be as applicable. And same thing for guys, for men. Men are fully developed and know really who they are and what they want after 28 years of age, and that's just the starting point. It goes into the 30s. So if some of this may look a bit too complex, don't worry. It's just the setup to build you up when you get older. So all of this will be applicable as things changes for you over time. However, if you are someone older and you realize, time to give up the partying, time to give up the multi-dating, this video definitely puts out some great foundational values on how to build yourself and what to look for in your partner to have a long-lasting relationship. Again, as I said, if you're a youngster, you will definitely need this later. However, it's still good to know. And if you're someone who's in that phase where you're ready to get serious about someone and bring in a serious partner in your life, this video is definitely for you. So I'm talking about 7 areas on how to set up and have a healthy relationship with your intimate partner. And this starts from the beginning. So number 1, know yourself. As you heard me mention just now, people who are between the age of 18 to 25, 28, they are still doing some self-discovery, as into, who am I? What's my like? What's my dislike? What do I like and seek in someone else? So that's the time frame where you are dating, you're exploring, you're spending time by yourself, you're discovering who you are. So if you have done all of that in that time frame and that age gap, as you're starting to mature and get older, you should definitely have a good and solid foundation of who you are as a person, as you age and as you're getting older. So the first thing is knowing who you are, meaning knowing your values, your morals, your likes, your dislikes. These are very important for you to know so you're not picking up someone else's identity or trying to adapt to someone else's morals and values. That can become a bit complicated in relationship, but when you know who you are, you're much likely to be willing and open to match up with someone of similar morals and values, which helps to harmonize the relationship. Number 2, having a healthy standard and boundaries for yourself in a relationship. So when you're moving into a relationship with your partner, you're getting to know that person. The first thing is, if you know who you are, you'll be able to express yourself. And chances are, if you're on that healthy level to where you're comfortable in yourself and being who you are, you will attract people who have that same level of understanding of themselves. And the second concept is being able to set up healthy standards and boundaries with them. So that's basically listing out, not necessarily listing out, but basically letting them know what's your standards, what's your boundaries, and what's your limitation. Vice versa, that person will also do the same. Now, this area, number 2, is really, really important, because if you guys don't share the same types of standards and boundaries, that also sets up to have future conflicts or to make a relationship weaker in the future, which leads to number 3. When you know yourself, number 1, when you're able to set standard boundaries and to share with someone what your values are, and they are able to do the same with you when they're getting into a relationship, you guys are building the foundation of your relationship. And that is very, very important in the beginning of a relationship, when you are building your foundation. So think about a house. You can build this really big, amazing, fancy house for years. You took a long time constructing it, building it, putting in everything you want into it. But if the foundation is weak, the house will come crumbling down. So it's really, really important in the beginning when someone is building a house to build a strong foundation so the house can stand in it for many, 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 many years. So it's the same thing with relationship. In the beginning, it's important to be able to be yourself and to be able to express who you are and have them do the same, the other person do the same. And once both party is accepting of that, you guys will be able to lay down some strong foundation in the beginning of your relationship, which will help you in the future and many, many years to come as you develop and grow in a long-term relationship. One thing I wanted to say as a side note, one concept that's really common in people and couples sometimes, we have the victim and we have the savior. And these two people tend to find each other like magnets. And it's like a musical in the beginning of the relationship, because the savior always wants to help the victim and the victim always wants to be saved. And that type of a relationship starts off so magical, so beautiful. However, it gets tiresome for both people. These are the people who don't really know who they are in a sense, or they haven't really worked on themselves. So even though it starts off as a great merge and it can go on for a while, it does crumble in the end, because sometimes the savior gets tired, or sometimes the victim feels like you're not doing enough to help me anymore, and they will go off looking for someone else, and they will go off to save someone else because they want something new to do, and that crumbles a relationship. So these two things is something to identify. It's a lot of us, especially in the younger phase of our lives, because we're bringing in some of that childhood stuff we have learned. So that is why I have all the previous videos on how to work on yourself, your self-worth, your self-love, your self-values, and how to make those changes towards your self-esteem and self-confidence to develop a stronger identity. So you're not either staying in a victim mode, or you're not somebody who's always trying to be the protector or the survivor of the savior of the relationship. You just want to be you. So be careful of that. There's a lot of people who merge like that, and it starts off like fireworks, but it crumbles right on down. So we don't want that when you're starting a long-term relationship or you're heading to have a healthier relationship in the future, because the goal is to build it and to maintain it. So number 3, like I mentioned, is setting up a strong foundation, because that's what you're going to build after for weeks to come, months to come, and years to come. Number 4, being able to identify for yourself and for the other person, also to share what love means to them, trust means to you, commitment, respect, loyalty. Again, this video that I'm doing right now, I can break each one of these down into one video each, but I'm compiling it together and making one video. I know you guys are so smart, and you guys are going to grasp each and every one of these concepts, even though some of them are multiple layers. But as I mentioned, number 4 is being able to know what you mean by love, respect, commitment, trust, and loyalty. Same thing for the other person. This may vary, especially in this time and this generation. For example, I grew up, or in my marriage, I believe in monogamy. So one partner. However, there's people who believe in having multiple relationships. There's nothing wrong with neither of these. Everyone have their own personal belief. It's important, though, it's very vital that you match up with someone who shares that same beliefs as you. Side note, never ever try to change someone. When someone tell you this is who they are, let them be that person. It's your choice whether you want to stay with that person that way or you want to move forward and make some changes for yourself. So for example, if you are someone who believes in monogamy, but you're dating someone who doesn't, it's not going to work in the end, especially if this person thinks they can change you or you think you can change them. It's not going to work. It may work in the beginning, but after that, people go back to being who they are. So maybe this person wants to go back exploring, or you're looking for monogamy and you guys are trying to match each other, and then it becomes uncomfortable. Now this person can't be themselves around you. You can't be yourself around them. And it's just a sticky situation. And again, crumbling will be happening in the relationship. So making sure that you really identify this part as you're growing in your relationship. What does love mean to you? What does it mean to them? What does trust mean to you? What does it mean to them? What does commitment mean to you? What does commitment mean to them? Same thing for loyalty, and same thing for respect. For everyone, this varies at a different level. Some people prioritize love. For example, I'm someone who prioritizes respect when it comes to my intimate partner. So making sure that you guys share those values together will help blossom the relationship. And again, these things have to be identified in the beginning of the relationship for those of you who are working on building a long-term relationship in your life. These apply to you. So it's important for you to identify these things in the beginning as you're working and building that relationship, so you guys can set down some strong foundation. If these things vary by a lot, again, you cannot change no one, and it just sometimes doesn't work out that way. So it's best to make sure you align yourself, or you find someone who share those same values as you have. That way you can build together. For example, if someone do believe in multiple partner and the other person does, they will always be comfortable in sharing their views with each other, so they can prosper in their relationship, because they have the same values, the same morals, the same belief. Or if someone believes in monogamy and their partner does, they'll share those same values with each other, so they'll be able to prosper in that area of their relationship. Number 5 is very much so similar to what number 4 is. Being able to be yourself and allowing the other person to be themselves. So you see how all of it kind of linked up with each other from number 1 all the way to number 5? So when you're building your relationship and you're being able to express who you are, and the person's able to do that, and they're able to share what love means to them, what commitment means to you, and as you guys are laying these foundation, you're getting the opportunity to be yourself, and they're also getting the opportunity to be themselves. When two people can come together and be who they are with each other and express that on a day-to-day basis, that's music right there. That's a relationship. That's something that's going to last for a very, very long time, because when you find a mate where you can be expressive with each other and not feel fear and not feel uneasy around them, or try to hide sometime and spend 8 hours a day at the job because you're trying to avoid a conflict, those are not healthy patterns in a relationship. But when you're so excited to share something with them and you find yourself happy around them because they can tell you who they are and you can tell them who you are, it's just a great pair together in building a great long-lasting relationship. Number 6, always remember how and why you fell in love, so you can keep the future years just as exciting. If you are someone who is in your 20s or 30s and you have spoken to someone who have had a marriage or a relationship for 50 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, you would have heard them share one thing in common. They all still have one clear memory. That memory is of the beginning of their relationship. And that's where we talked about that foundational part of the relationship. They always remember what excited them about their partner. They always remember what made them fall in love with that person. And for both people, they tend to have the same thing. And that's the thing that trickled out throughout the years that had them laughing or kept them exciting and kept them going years after years, years after years. And that's one of the things I've heard when I talk to people who have 45 years of marriage or more. They still have that excitement, especially the couples who are so excited with each other and they're still laughing together. They still have that memory of the beginning part of their relationship. And that's why I emphasize so much that when you're starting to build or you're starting to look for the one to get into a serious relationship, really understand the first 3 concepts: yourself, your standards, and your boundaries for both people, and laying down some strong foundation, because that's the foundation that's going to help you to repeat those behaviors and patterns and keep you going years and years to come, and keep the marriage or the relationship excited and fun and ongoing, basically. So one of the most important thing that I have heard from people who have had long-lasting relationships is that they tend to remember, or they tend to still have the excitement of what they had in the beginning of the relationship. I was having dinner with this older couple a while ago, my husband and I remembered the wife was sharing that her kids are finally moving out to college. They're going away to college and they're becoming empty nester. And the husband just hugs her and tell her, but this is the exciting part. We're going to go right back into honeymoon phase, as he kissed her on the cheeks. And she also got so excited about it. So one of the things that he kept with him was his honeymoon phase in the beginning of the relationship. The things they used to do 18, 20 years ago before they had kids. And he was getting real excited to get back to that phase. So again, most of the things that I hear from people who have had long-lasting relationship is they kept part of that memory alive from the beginning of their relationship. So make sure you're creating fun memories in the beginning and you're laying down healthy foundation that keeps repeating itself throughout the years. And before you know it, if you have a 40, 50, 60 years old marriage, you might be the same person that's sharing the same techniques that have worked for years in happy and healthy marriages. And number 7, last but not least, above all the things that you have to do when you're working on building a long-lasting relationship, remember to be lighthearted, laugh, have fun, forgive, and be accepting of each other. Forgive and being accepting of each other is very, very important in a relationship. You have to learn that no one is perfect. No relationship is perfect. There's no perfect person out there. There's no perfect relationship out there. But if you know how to forgive and if you know how to be accepting of each other, a relationship can really flourish and really grow in a positive and healthy manner. So being able to be forgiving at times and being open and accepting of each other can really help a relationship prosper. Also, be lighthearted, have fun, laugh, enjoy each other company. As much as you're setting up all these things for yourself, but part of relationship is enjoying it. The most important part of your relationship is having fun and being in love and enjoying yourself with each other. So making sure that you do that and you prioritize that as part of a long-lasting relationship. Now, I have just went over 7 different concepts on how to build and have a healthy and happy and long-lasting relationship with your intimate partner, your spouse, and how to maintain that throughout the years. Each one of these concepts had quite a few different areas within it, but I think it's easy to put together and understand and grasp the concept, so that's why I put it together this way. However, if you would like for me to get more in depth in an area, or there's something that you want me to talk more about when it comes to personal relationship or sharing a little bit more on any of these subject matter, don't forget to drop me a comment below. I'll be more than happy to do that. Also, it will be so helpful if you can give me a thumbs up and click that notification bell, so when I bring new videos every week, you'll be the first to get notified. And also hit that subscribe button. It will mean a lot to me. Now, as I'm wrapping up this video, this is the last video in relationship, and we're moving in next month to health and wellness. And I have some exciting and super fun people that's going to be joining me and talking about the benefits of health and wellness. So I'll see you all next week and moving into a new area for the Goody Life, health and wellness. So I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.